إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما أما بعد إن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار اللهم أجرنا من النار. قال الله تعالى في القرآن المجيد كما ورد في سورة البقرة وإذا سألك عبادي عني فإني قريب أجيب دعوة الداعي إذا دعان فليستجيبوا لي وليؤمنوا بي لعلهم يرشدون رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. We always begin by praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and then sending peace and blessings to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. We thank Allah for the blessing of Islam. We thank Allah for sending the final prophet of Islam sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. The biggest blessing is this book. Whether we realize it or not. Truth is truth. It does not need acknowledgement. Al-Quran is the final word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the entire human race until the day of judgment. And the ayah that I recited, the ayah number 186 from Surah Al-Baqarah, the word Ramadan is only once in Al-Quran. In ayah 185, شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is trying to remind us that this month, which is the greatest month, is great because of Al-Quran. We enter Ramadan and we pass through it the way we have passed all 11 months, we won't see the barakah of Ramadan. We will enjoy a nice iftar, we will enjoy a nice sahur, but we won't enjoy the barakah. Because this ayah says this is the month when Quran was revealed. There are so many ahadith that people have written, just like 40 hadiths of Imam al-Nawawi that deal with the entire spectrum of the deen. Some people have written books on 40 hadiths about Ramadan. I was going through one. There's so many hadiths. But the ones that are famous ones, I would mention some. One is in Bukhari from Abu Huraira. By the way, there are so many hadiths from Abu Huraira radiallahu anhu. And it goes like this. What we know about Ramadan is that tonight we'll read Taraweeh. Inshallah, we'll wake up. And of course, we always ask Allah to give us the opportunity to see Ramadan. Sometimes we take it as granted. We ask Allah to give us respite until the Maghrib time so we can enter Ramadan. Jazakallah khair for reminding me, inshallah. This beautiful hadith is capturing the entire message of Ramadan. The message of Ramadan is not just when it is time to eat sahur, and go to bed, sleep until it's asr time, so that you can face the least of your hunger and thirst, and then you enjoy the preparation for iftar, and then you have iftar, and then have your time. That's the image, physical image of Rawda, of the Siyam. The hadith says from Abu Hurairah in Bukhari, "Man lam yada'a qawl az-zur wal amala bihi, falaysa lillahi hajja fi an yada'a ta'amuhu wa sharabuhu." The meaning of it is that whoever does not leave qawl az-zur, this is when you are oppressing someone, whether through your words, and then wal amala bihi, or through your action. فَلَيْسَ لِلَّهِ حَاجَّةٌ, then Allah does not need you. أَنْ يَدَعْ طَعَامُهُ, that if you let go of your food and your drink, that does not need it. It's a scary hadith. So what is more important than doing the sahur and the iftar is the time in between. That time in between will count whether Allah is accepting that siyam or not, that sawm or not. مَنْ لَمْ يَدَعَ قَوْلَ الزُّورِ وَالْعَمَلَ بِهِ. So let's remember this, that of course we should be good people, but especially that when I enter my sawm after the school, I will be extra careful with my tongue, with my hands, with my thoughts, with my actions. Extra careful. Another hadith, it's a famous one, again from Abu Hurairah, that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was stepping up on the member to give a khutbah, and he said Ameen 3 times. The first step he said Ameen, the second step he said Ameen. We have heard this hadith. Again, it's the purpose of reminding each other. And then when Sahaba asked, you did this thing, why were you saying Ameen? He said that Jibreel came to me. That means Sahaba could not see Jibreel, only was the dialogue between Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and Jibreel. It says, one of the first one is Man adraka shahra Ramadan walam yaghfar lahu fadakhala an-nar fa'awwidha Allah qul Ameen. And I said Ameen. Faqultu Ameen. That Rasulullah sallallahu said, Jibreel made dua, and who is saying Ameen? Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, who is rahmatan lil alameen, for who adraka shahr Ramadan, found the month of Ramadan, walam yaghfar lahu, but could not get forgiven. Could not get forgiven. When shayateen are chained. So it is easier to fast, and you will observe this, that during Ramadan it is easier to fast. Outside of Ramadan you will feel it. This is very strange. Why? Because this is a month where things are made easier. So if the paper is easier and you still fail the paper, then what do you deserve? This is the easiest of the paper. So we ask Allah to give us the tawfiq to pass, each one of us, that we pass this exam with flying colors in this month of Ramadan. Ameen ya Rabbi. By the way, in the same hadith, he said 3 times Ameen. The other 2, remember this, because those are also part of actions that we can take during this month that will start inshallah tonight, so that we are saved from these 3 Ameen. Saving in the sense that the end of those who are getting into that state is a nar. Allahumma ajirna min an-nar. We want to stay away from nar. The second one, by the way, is that it also applies to the one who had parents and he could not be forgiven by serving them. To those who have parents, be extra special to your parents. Be extra kind to your parents. Those who do not have their parents, remember them more in the dua. And the best dua is, what we all know, Rabbi irhamhuma kama rabbayani saghira. As they, when I was a child, they took care of me, may Allah take care of them. In sujood, increase our dua. And the third category is the one that he hears the name of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and he does not say sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We need to remember this, especially on the day of Jummah. We also need to communicate this to our children. Our children always have this logic, which is not bad. What is the logic behind it? And what we say is, if someone stayed up in the night crying for you, crying for the Ummah. Ummah is not just the Sahaba. It's you and me too. If someone did that, would we not be grateful to that person? So, and by the way, every time he says sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, according to a hadith is presented to him, and then you get 10 hasanat. Even in that, it is for our own benefit. You're not benefiting Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He's already there. Whatever we are sending is for us. This is according to this hadith. Let's increase that. There's another hadith. Again, reminding us, this month, it is so easy to pass the exam. The hadith says, رَغِمَ أَنْفَ رُجُلٍ دَخَلَ عَلَيْهِ رَمَضَانَ ثُمَّ انْصَرَفَ قَبْلَ أَنْ يُغْفَرَ لَهُ. May he be humbled, the one, humbled, أَنْفَ رُجُلٍ is humiliation. May dust be on his nose. That enters Ramadan. This person goes into Ramadan, and the Ramadan ends before he's forgiven. That is, he passed the whole month without doing anything, any effort. We ask Allah to give us a heart that is soft enough to get that message. Because this is like a say, this is like, if I'm not forgiven in this month, then when? If not in this month, then when? This is the easiest time. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and according to another hadith which is well known, Man sama Ramadan imanan wa ihtisab ghufira lahu. Whoever fasted with iman and ihtisab. What is the iman? Why am I fasting? Because I know Allah is watching me, and if my intention is clear, only He will reward me. According to another hadith, it says that this is for me. All ibadah is for Allah, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned this psalm especially, that this fasting especially is for me. Only I will give the reward. And then there is another version of it, which includes qama. Man qama Ramadan iman wa ihtisab. What qama? Is that when we stay up in the night. There is one which is the Taraweeh, which all of us do. There is another beautiful time, which happens every night, by the way. But in Ramadan, it will be much easier. Those who are fasting Monday, Thursday, or the 3 days, they know that they can wake up early before the time of sahur ends. But in Ramadan, every night they are waking up for sahur. Oh, by the way, that also reminds me, especially the youth. For them it is so difficult, and I see it in my own home, that they eat around 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. Or I cannot wake up at 5. But that is the time for tahajjud. Let's change our habit. The month is there for transition. Let's transform our life. That's the opportunity. And by the way, I know in my own family that people who were there last year are not here anymore. This is an opportunity. We should not be in that group that say, oh, I wish I had done this in 2025. Even though there are people, I mean, again, it's a worldly example, but some people like, I wish I had bought that stock 5 years ago. Don't we have? Don't we have that feeling? Oh, I had money, I could have bought this 5 years ago, and today I would have been this much rich. I wish I had bought Bitcoin back then. Regardless of the fiqh discussion, what I'm trying to convey is that we have some regrets right now, based on our actions from the past. right? We have some regrets. I wish I had done this. We will have the same regret. May Allah save us from that situation. But if we don't pay attention that we are given another opportunity with this Ramadan, then we will end up in that state of regret. In addition to that, very quickly in a few minutes, I want to also emphasize that there are many hadiths about itikaf, staying in the masjid. It has barakah. You cut off from the word zakat. We collect entire year zakat in this month. The biggest amount that is donated is in this month. So let's be generous with that. So if I'm calculating, let's err on the positive side, not on the negative side. So don't try just like we do with the tax time. Okay, what is my taxable income? Let's say, don't go into what is my zakatable income. If you're giving $1,000 extra, what is wrong with it? It's just being saved. So if you were supposed to give 5,000 in zakat, let's give 6,000. What is wrong with that? But shaitan will stop us. Let's have this attitude according to the hadith that Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam was always very generous, but especially in Ramadan, he was like a flowing river. He was more generous. So when we do more donation, whether it's zakah or sadaqah, with this hadith in mind, that I'm following who? I'm following my Nabi. They will get two rewards. Sadaqah is itself, but following the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Tadabbur al-Quran, it's so important. The ayah there is say, وَإِذَا سَأَلَكَ عِبَادِ أَنِّي فَإِنِّي قَرِيبٌ. That when my servant asks me, when we stand up for tahajjud, even if you don't pray, unless you wake up, you only have 5 minutes. In your bed, you raise your hand, ask Allah. But then towards the end it says, فَلْيَسْتَجِيبُوا لِي. When we ask Allah, Allah is listening. But how do we know? He knows that we are talking to Him. How do we know that He is talking to us? That's why I brought this. This is how He's talking to us. This is how Allah is talking to us. If we are not picking up Quran, then we are losing this opportunity. فَلْيَسْتَجِيبُوا لِي means that they should also respond to me. When they ask me, I respond to them. Whether in this dunya or akhirah, every single dua that is not accepted, we will see in our book of good deeds. Every single dua. But in the same ayah, I say, فَلْيَسْتَجِيبُوا لِي. So therefore, they should also respond to me. How do we respond to Allah? By clinging to the rope of Allah, which is our Quran. This is the month. This is the month. Tadabbur. There are people who have spent lives learning literature, English, or whatever other languages, except the Arabic language. This is, every month we realize that in Taraweeh we are getting bored. And this Imam is just taking too much time. He's going very slow. He is enjoying it, but we are not enjoying it because we don't understand. When are we going to wake up and say, okay, enough is enough. I have to learn Arabic, at least Quranic Arabic, so I know when I read, what is sa'alaka ibadi, what does it mean? Because this is, again, those who don't understand Arabic will not enjoy anything. This is the opportunity to learn Quran. Even if it is starting with the last juz. Just the last juz, we read Qul huwallahu ahad, wal asr. Let's go into the tafsir of it. Let's understand. قولوا قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين فاستغفروا إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا ونبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. قال الله تعالى في القرآن المجيد إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم بلغنا رمضان. اللهم أعز الإسلام والمسلمين وأذل الشرك والمشركين ودمر أعداء الدين يا رب العالمين. اللهم انصر إخواننا في فلسطين وفي السودان وفي كل مكان. اللهم أرنا الحق حقا وارزقنا اتباعه وأرنا الباطل باطلا وارزقنا اجتنابه. اللهم وفقنا لما تحب وترضى. اللهم توفنا مسلمين وألحقنا بالصالحين. عباد الله رحمكم الله، إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. اذكروا الله يذكركم وادعوه يستجب لكم ولذكر الله أكبر والله يعلم ما تصنعون. وأقيموا الصلاة.